wish anyone to cross my path.
The blood that flows through her veins is special, and extremely dangerous. If showing pity would put my allies in danger, I will not hesitate to kill.
Hey there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Let's Play Tales of Berseria. No? How about no? How about Fire Emblem Three Houses? So, there's the magic wielder. That is probably the person who will let me read the banned book. Looking forward to that, but we do have some support conversations to finish before then. Starting with, oh my god, oh yeah, that's right, me. I knew that already. So these take a bit, but hey, we're not in any hurry, are we? No, we're not. I'll answer that for you.
What's all this? Ha! I knew it! Would you look at that? It's gold! Some poor sap just left it here for me to find. I'll be taking this then.
You big dummy.
You think the whole world is your collection jar. Unbelievable.
I forgot I clicked on Hoppy, and I thought that this was going to be like a trap from Yuri.
Sorry about that. Look, I feel awful. Please don't twist up your face like you're suppressing a disappointed sigh. How about I use this gold to buy you something nice? A sweet treat, perhaps? Yeah?
I don't think that's why she's annoyed.
I don't eat contraband sweets. Are you trying to get me locked up again?
I still want to know what got her locked up the first time.
Give back the money or don't. It's none of my business. Either way, keep me out of it.
As you wish, milady. Straight to the fun fund it goes. Drinks don't buy themselves, unfortunately.
I mean, you could just, you know, go to a friend's house.
That might make for a fun night or two. But what about all the money you owe? If you're going to keep this, you should apply it to your debts before a bounty hunter gets a hold of you.
This gold wouldn't even make a dent. It's chump change. Better to drink it than waste it.
Like, it's that I laugh, but there's definitely a mentality of when you're really poor, like, and your debts are overwhelming, then yeah, like, actually putting it towards that just seems like a waste.
In any case, when I'm dead, I'm dead. When that happens, none of this will matter anymore. I'm not gonna worry about what I can't control. I've got better uses for this gold in the meantime.
I don't understand how you can be so reckless. It's as though you want to get killed. Meanwhile, if I lose control for even a moment, monsters will eat me for dinner.
That is a kind of like, I hadn't thought about the level, because yeah, you can't sigh, and that's like such a natural thing to do.
Hearing you say that so casually feels like a bad omen. It's unsettling, that's for sure.
Sorry, is that too morbid for you? You just told me when I'm dead, I'm dead.
And it's true. For me, not for you.
I'm pretty sure it's true for both of you.
And why is that?
Because all of this mess I'm drowning in is my own fault. Every bit of it. You can't say the same. I'm in trouble because I borrowed, drank, and fought too much. All my own choices. That means it's on me to take responsibility and accept the inevitable outcome.
So, since it's in my control to keep the size at bay, I don't get to relax ever?
Not quite. I'm saying that it isn't your fault, so you shouldn't have to bear that burden alone.
That's a nice sentiment. But people are hardly lining up to share this burden with me.
How would they even do that? How would they help her not sigh?
Talk is cheap. Everyone knows it's all over the instant I sigh.
Huh. I have a habit of not saying the right thing to her. Not much I can do about... Hey! It's more gold! Go ahead and join your buddies in my pocket, pal.
God damn it, Balthus. Alright. Well, that was the wrong button. As of Yuri and Hilda, you just got a lot of these. You're very popular.
Oh, this is pointless! My head's about to split in two!
Well, don't do that.
Wow, Balthus, what's with you, friend? Never seen you so deep in thought. Next thing I know, snow will be dumping out of the sky here in Abyss.
Shut your trap! I'm driving myself crazy over here. Got a lot on my mind, okay?
Well, what is it? Let us know.
Like?
Ah, fine. You know how I never got any stories out of you the other day?
With that?
How could I forget? I won every last round. It was clear that both Lady Luck and the goddess herself had given up on you. Your powers of deliberation weren't any help either.
You caught me off my stride, got it? But it was clear I'd never win a story from you, so I went digging.
Oh, okay, that's a good way of solving your problems.
Uh-huh.
I was especially curious about that crest of yours, so I went rifling around for a lead. I got to thinking.
You must have time on your hands if you're spending it thinking. Well, let's hear it.
There's a story they tell where my mom grew up. Long ago, the village got in a squabble with some folks looking to conquer the place.
Yeah, I imagine that would cause a squabble.
A village elder gave some holy red stuff to their wounded soldiers. Some kind of liquid, who knows?
Sounds like blood.
After she did that, some of them made a complete recovery, against all odds. The rest of them were changed, but not for the better. They up and vanished before long.
And then?
Crests suddenly manifested for the ones who survived.
Interesting.
They weren't inherited, or gifted by the goddess. It's a real thinker, yeah? A real thinker.
So crest can be bestowed by some weird magic ritual, and that has to do with Yuri. Like, it's possible it has to do with Yuri, but I don't know why you would think specifically, aha! Yuri does not have a crest. Like, I get he's not a noble, but still.
Near death but survived, despite all odds. Wait, the elder whom my mom saved. Could he have used something similar?
Oh, that's a... Okay, I'd actually forgotten that part of the story. Whoops.
No, it can't be. Yet, something here is unsettling in its familiarity.
Hit the mark, did I?
I don't know whether you hit the mark or missed it entirely. But your story was a cute one, regardless. The truth is, I've been trying to sort out who I am. And, well, I haven't been successful in it. I don't even know whether my mother is truly my birth mother. Or why it is I have this crest. At this point, I have nothing but speculations. Maybe I'll sink into my grave without ever knowing the truth.
That's a morbid thought.
Lots of things in life don't have an answer. Just pick the story you like best and run with it. That's better than finding out a truth you can't live with. You can really mess your head up like that.
Damn it, you're right. To think that something so trivial could bother someone like me.
Well, aren't you a pompous? Like, oh, this would bother someone like Balthus, but me? Come on.
Look who's a quick learner. Thinking too much will sap your energy, pal. I avoid it whenever possible.
You haven't been avoiding it very well.
In fact, it's been ages since I last thought so deeply. My head is really hurting now. But if that old legend is true, what was that holy red stuff? What happened to the vanished soldiers? Once I start thinking about all that, I keep going round and round in my head. And then it's dawn. And then it's nightfall. And then it's dawn again.
How do you're in the abyss. There is no dawn or nightfall. What are you talking about?
Hey, Balthus?
Let me at him! Oh. Not a fight then. That's what I get for overusing the old noggin.
You damn fool.
I love how she's just sitting there like, you're alive, and I'm completely not responding to her. I'm just like,
Whoa! Easy there, big guy. I'm fragile, you know.
Stand back, Hilda. I've got this.
Whew. Thanks for the help, Balti. Are you okay?
I am really glad we recruited her at the last possible second.
What, this? It's nothing. Oh!
Ouch! You didn't have to do that, you know. I didn't ask you to get yourself beaten up. If I thought I might have to break a sweat, I'd have gotten out of there myself.
I know, but I can't help but worry when I see you in a tight spot. Pulse told me to keep an eye on you and all. It's the least I can do.
Huh. I didn't realize you were still in touch with my brother.
He's in touch with a lot of people.
No,
Like
this
that.
was ages ago. Told me if anything happened to him, it was up to me to look after you.
What could possibly happen to Holst? He's indestructible.
I don't know, he got a stomach cold at one point.
True, but what would he think if I let you get hurt when I could have saved you? Not on my watch, pal.
Ha! Good point. He'd kill you.
It's a real concern. I may be the renowned king of grappling, but I still wouldn't want to take on Holst.
Well, hold on. This whole premise is something happened to Holst.
He'd tear you to pieces. But if you did get killed trying to protect me, Holst would be crushed. Not as crushed as if something happened to me, but still, he'd be broken up about it.
Maybe so. But in that case, at least he wouldn't think I'd messed up. As much as I believe in Holst, he also believes in me. Because of that, I won't ever let him down. And on that note, even if you think I'm in over my head, don't worry about it. I'd like for you to believe in me too.
Interesting, okay.
I can't stop worrying about you on command. That's not how worrying works.
Fair. But I do what I do because I want to. If it lands me beneath the dirt sooner than later, well, save your tears for my funeral.
Ugh, I hate when people talk about death like it's no big deal. Try to keep your stupid heart beating, alright?
That was nice. I like that. They care about each other, but they can't let anyone know. So yeah, I have to go find. Oh no, I just clicked there. Okay, interesting.
Stubborn little. That's it. Nighty night, sleepyhead. Guess that's it.
Kitties, I love you, but I'm going to choke you. So the cats turned the recording off. Thanks, kitties. Thankfully, we didn't miss very much. I noticed it pretty quick. So yeah, apparently, Balthus' stepmother keeps sending people after him. Not the bounty hunters, as far as I can tell, but maybe.
Shocking. Remember when I told you my little bro inherited House Albrecht after I left?
Not really, but okay.
Well, he's my half-bro, and his mother is devoted, to say the least. She'd do anything for him.
So she's trying to off you so that his title won't be challenged?
Sadly, he had the nerve to be born without a crest. And here I stand with a rare one swimming in my veins. She's convinced I'll return one day to take back my title by force. Completely off her rocker, that one.
Yeah, that is a bit...
Nah, not worth the effort. It's best for everyone that I take the brunt of her malice. I can handle it just fine.
So you got bounty hunters and assassins after you?
If I wasn't around, she'd shift her beady gaze to my dad. Maybe even to my mom, who fled the house a while back.
Well, that's... wow.
Or maybe my little bro would become the target of her good intentions. Can't allow that to happen.
The one she's protecting? Or is your little bro different than your step bro?
And that's the bottom line. Long story short, you should keep your distance from me.
I mean, we both know that's not going to happen.
If that assassin's dagger took you out, everyone here would fall to pieces. How would I explain that? That's some big talk, pal. So you'll protect me too, will you?
I mean, yeah, unless game mechanics stop me from reversing time.
I think someone who can keep up with the exalted king of grappling would say such a swell thing. I'm a betting man, so I'll take the bait. Let's see if you really intend to protect me. Or if those were just pretty words.
Interesting. Okay. So, obviously we're saving Shamir for the end. I mean, do I even need to say it at this point?
Alois, I was hoping you could tell me some more stories about Captain Gerald.
Do you think of anything else, ever?
You'd like to hear about Gerald's adventures? You seem quite taken with these stories, Leone.
Can't hurt, can it? All our work for the day is done. So remind me, how did you meet him?
I feel like this is a quiz, not a question.
Ah, it all feels like ancient history now. You see, the captain was visiting the kingdom of Fargus.
Uh-huh. Go on.
His previous squire had died from a ghastly plague.
Doesn't sound very pleasant.
Then one day, he came upon me and appointed me his new squire.
At that age, you must have had some real talent and courage to stand out as a future knight.
Oh, no, it wasn't that. I was just an orphan boy living in the monastery. I was a timid little thing.
Wow, I can't imagine that at all.
Really? He didn't choose you for your bravery? What made him choose you then?
My face looked like the dead boys.
That's kind of hilarious.
What? That's it?
Well, I asked the captain, and that was the only answer he gave me.
Abrasive to the last. That's Captain Gerald for you.
Yeah, I love the idea that he'd just give a flippant answer and Alois would just buy it hook, line, and sinker, like, okay. And that may even be the truth, I don't know, but it's funny that Alois never questioned it.
Yes. In those early days, I would sometimes wonder whether he was right in the head. When I saw him on the battlefield, though, those concerns were laid to rest. Anyway, I think I hear your professor has been looking for you. You'd better scrap.
I have? What?
Oh no, you're right. I'd better go. See you around.
What? This is news to me. Alright, and Leone also has a Catherine. Has a Catherine. Just on her shelf.
That's enough. You're done for today.
Right. Thanks.
Are you feeling pain anywhere, Leone?
No. Sorry, I'm alright.
Why are you apologizing?
Because I can't hold my own against you. And on top of that, you have to worry about hurting me. I feel like I've let you down.
I mean, people not being able to keep up with Catherine is kind of the hit and caboodle. Like, it happens to everyone.
Do you know what I meant when I said, you're done for today?
Probably that I was about to keel over.
No, it wasn't about your physical strength. I could tell that you didn't have the will to keep fighting.
I've got plenty of will.
No matter what I do, I can't win. Isn't that what you were thinking? If you think you can't win, you won't. Perhaps you already knew that.
That's a very true statement.
Good point.
But never assume that you'll win. That is, don't underestimate your foe. At all times, you have to keep a clear head to make split-second decisions. In battle, mistakes are deadly.
But I don't have a crest or a relic. How could I ever hope to beat you?
What does that have to do with anything?
If you put it like that, I'll fight barehanded, and I won't use my crest. Think you can win? Do your worst. Oh dear, I might have overdone it there. But I believe in her. I would be doing her a disservice if I pulled any punches. It's Leone after all. She'll be back on her feet and charging at me before I know it.
I'm concerned that she's not responding. I'm very concerned that that's how the scene ends. Alright, and we have the Catherine trio, although we're one in already.
Hey, Alois. Looks like you're done for the day. Care to join me in the dining hall?
Like nothing better.
Ah, Catherine, how could I refuse?
Nothing like a good drink. I feel better already. The grub's not bad either. This is the perfect way to end a long day of work.
I couldn't agree more. It feels like a weight's been lifted from my shoulders. It's at times like this, when worldly worries fall away, that I can really live in the moment. It's intoxicating.
Worldly worries, live in the moment. Look who's suddenly waxing poetic.
I love these two. I love this game. I mean, like, I know I shouldn't have to say that considering we're over 200 episodes in, but I do.
Wait, you feel intoxicated before you've had a drop of booze? Talk about a lightweight.
Hello! Just the man I was looking for.
Ah, yes. Were you the fellow selling ancient coins?
Yes, sir. Since our meeting at the antique shop yesterday, I got my hands on something new.
New is good.
Here we are. Look at this magnificent coin. Do you see the engraving? It's the crest of House Karen, one of the kingdom's most prominent noble families.
Oh, this is gonna be a problem.
It's an exceptionally rare piece, commissioned by a hero 1,000 years
Yeah, I'm
ago.
sure this guy's a scam artist, and she'll be like, that's not the crest.
By a hero? 1,000 years ago? I'll take it. How much do I owe you?
For a collector such as yourself, sir, I'm happy to offer it at a discounted price. Let's see, that'll be...
Hold on. Stop trying to swindle my friend.
I was gonna say, I could very much see where this is going.
You're claiming a hero from House Karen had their crest engraved on this coin. That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. Tell me, as a collector of antiques, are you familiar with this piece? It's a legendary sword.
Like, that's a bad test. Like, everyone knows your sword.
Ma'am, please, keep your nose out of my... What? Is that Thunderbrand?
I was gonna say, even people that are fake swindlers would like know that.
That's not possible. It couldn't be.
You are familiar with it. Excellent. Perhaps you know how cleanly it slices through liars and cheats.
Ah! Ah! You're saying that whole story was a lie?
I thought it was obvious.
I was gonna say, like, she would know the crest of House Charon. It'd actually be funny if it's like, House Charon's only been around for 300 years. Dum dum. Alright, I know we've seen this before, but I'm still letting it play out. This is the one where they figure out that they are good partners.
Hey, we don't need to have this conversation.
You don't know what I was going to say.
Something about our vastly different approaches to life.
Fine then. We don't need to talk about it. Actually, really, Sorry, you go first.
I was gonna say I'd hear you out.
Okay, let's talk about it. I will be faithful to Lady Rhea until I die.
Or she does.
If I had to choose between you and her, I would choose her every time.
Although I don't know why I say that. Like, she's not dying in this route. She just died in other routes. But even on the route we killed her, Catherine died with her. Although I still like the idea that I could have spared her by going the other way.
I assume that disqualifies me from being your partner.
Between you and Rhea, I'd choose you. But between you and me, I'd choose me. That probably disqualifies me from being your partner, too.
Well, no. I'm quite fond of being alive. I don't intend to sacrifice my life either. If it came down to you or me, I'd choose...
What's wrong?
Nothing. You're not like the rest of the knights.
You can say that again.
Maybe someday you'll have to take a path that diverges from ours.
Thankfully not in this playthrough.
What if we went to war with your country?
It is a possibility.
Maybe I shouldn't be thinking like that.
The future is one of the great mysteries of life.
I mean, it's a mystery that can't be solved, only experienced.
We can worry about it when the time comes. But until our paths diverge, you're my partner. And I couldn't ask for a better one.
You got that right. I'm the best there is.
Alright, and that is all the support. So, hello.
You're alive? I was sure that the fall of Garrick Mock had claimed your life. I left for the kingdom initially, but my reading of the stars spelled disaster, so I turned back.
I mean, that makes sense.
I've spent most of the past 5 years drifting through Alliance territory. I've only recently returned.
Okay.
You're alive? I've spent
Oh, here we go. Okay, finally, I can actually read these. Oh, this is gonna take forever. Choose the calendar volume 2. Much time has passed since the imperial calendar was adopted. The prior calendar, the year began with what we now call the Guardian Moon, and ended with the Ethereal Moon. Back then, the 12 lunar phases were exclusively referred to as months. They came to be known as moons in the current calendar system. Though the prior names of the months are lost, the Guardian Moon is often shortened to number 1, Moon to the number 2, and so on to the Ethereal Moon, the 12th and final month. An elegant, it is a practical system that apparently served the people of the time well. There's no way of knowing when the old calendar was created, but to trace its origins is only to the area of gods more unanswerable. The era of the gods. That's interesting. What we know for certain is the calendars exist for an incomprehensible amount of time. And the civilization's calendar would inevitably cause great confusion and unrest. Why, then, did Emperor Wilhelm, the first leader of Adrestria, choose to abandon the original calendar in favor of the Imperial? Historians have identified several possible reasons for such a drastic measure. The influence of the Church of Ceres. Many of the Imperial calendar's months have associated lore behind them. Then they are intimately related to the tenets and saints of the Church of Ceres. Highly probable that basing the new calendar on the teachings of Ceres was Emperor Wilhelm's attempt to spread those beliefs on a much wider scale, to help legitimize the Church. If this is the case, it is a further proof that the Adrestian Empire had close ties to the Church of Ceres, the very moment of its inception. Alternatively, it has been posited the goddess herself wished to change the calendar, and voiced this desire through the prophet Ceres, which we know is Rhea, and Emperor Wilhelm simply implemented the change rather than originating it. Assessing it, calendars represent the flow of time, so to create a new one is akin to claiming dominion over time itself. After its founding, the Emperor used its influence to establish a new calendar and retroactively proclaim its founding year as year 1. With the innovation of calendars, moving increased imperial authority and herald the start of a new era. Interesting. So, and this will take you know what? I'm going to read half of it, and then I'll read the other half next month. So I do want to read it, but I also don't want the episode to drag on forever. But that is very interesting. So, and these are apparently the banned books that Rhea didn't want, like understanding that there was a system before Ceros. It has been several months since King Nemesis was defeated. The tides of war have turned from bad to worse. I've received news that my friend Daphne has fallen as well. Zealots are after our heads and those of our leaders. What's left of us to disappear into the muddy waters that Ceres has created. Long life may soon come to an end. Somehow escape of my life, but I fear the end is near. So my clan has already surrendered to the Empire. Surprised, I'm told that their safety was guaranteed. I, however, a different matter. My life, along with my sacred weapon, will unquestionably be forfeit. Son and daughter, you can forgive me one day. Why does Ceros despise us so? What did King Nemesis do to incur such unyielding wrath? Perhaps it was a mistake to accept his offer. In case, let all the distant past now. Before this body falls to ash. Evil. Interesting. So that was one of the ancients with a like relic weapon, which means that they didn't all fight alongside Ceros, as is claimed. I, a priest of the finding of my investigation, when a crest stone was removed while its relic was being wielded by all movement within the relic ceased. When the stone was returned, the relic once again. It is beyond question that crest stones supply their associated relic with power of some kind, and an impetus of said power is clearly related to the crest and that certain humans possess. Based on the composition of, it can be surmised that likely a massive creature akin to a wyvern. However, strength is beyond the compare of that of wyvern bones. They're more durable of all materials other than crucible steel, and ideal for crafting weaponry and absolutely inhabiting difficult to conceive. But one theory, it is possible that the goddesses have potentially heroes' relics have been found that are not linked to the 10 elites. That's interesting. Okay. So maybe the person in the prior memoir was not one of the 10 elites. Like, the 10 elites may have sworn Rhea, but who knows how many there are running around. 10 elites? Could be better. Others were gifted this power by the goddess of wealth. Perhaps the disturbing the relics were not gifts of the goddess. Additionally, the same crest stones, many of my hypotheses, I am desperate to find the truth of it all. The time has come. I must discard. I dare say the goddess would not wish me to learn more than I already have. So yeah, I can definitely see why these are banned, and that really colors Rhea. We'll say interestingly, the land of Thenis, where the old gods are said to live. The false god is awakened. Its looming heteromorphic vessel was resurrected to sink the world into the depths of the ocean. It will bring extinction to all the children of men. salvation to all the beasts, the land, the sky, and the sea. For the children of men who spent too much blood, the blood of life, promises only cruel retribution. The false god must be Okay, is this talking about Malpertio? The false god must be defeated before the world sinks into a watery grave. To this end, the children of men have erected pillars of light upon the land. In Thenis, Malum, and Septon, and Lilium were utterly destroyed, whose lands have vanished from the world. Even still, the false god stands. Soon, a flood aptly named Despair will drown the world. Children of men fled to the depths of the earth. These are the Slitherers, beyond the sight of the false god. And the false god is Rhea, beyond the embrace of the sacred sun, beyond the reach of the waters of despair. You can't go underground to get away from water. Swore a fervent oath of revenge against the surface world ruled by beasts, against the tormentor, the false god. Distance viewer based on glasses. By combining glasses lenses will give you greater distance with enhanced clarity. Such a tool is forbidden by the view of participants for the following reasons. 1. Ease of looking at enemy camps would escalate wartime violence. 2. It would be too easy to snipe from afar. 3. It would lessen the mystery of the goddess who watches from above. Wow, that's very, you can't have glasses? Sticky black liquid was discovered in northern Fargus. It burns fiercely and emits a highly toxic gas. This wicked substance was forbidden by the Archbishop for the following reasons. This use could result in accidental death. It could be used tactically by those lacking magical ability. Competition for it could cause... anything worth having could cause strife. Not that I think necessarily a chemical weapon, it should just be had by everyone. Though initially lauded as a practical replacement for a woodblock printing, there's a skeptical consideration the Archbishop declared it taboo for many reasons. Risk of massacre, circulation, misinformation, and malevolent rumors. It's useless to alert commoners. Risk of intensifying disparity between the church branches. Even autopsy, although it's widely believed that it is medically relevant, is the actual common approach to desecration of the dead. Since white magic cannot be used to its small end, autopsies were deemed taboo. The noble cardinal asserted clinical science would excel over faith-based white magic, would destabilize the foundations of the church. That's actually super interesting because also the Slitherers, there's a secret of their bodies, and it's they don't want people to potentially find out about that. The fog is the... I keep having to figure out new voices. The Fargus Rebellion? I harbor doubts about the army Luke has raised. How did he recruit soldiers without raising suspicions in the Empire? How did he acquire those mysterious weapons? And so, like heroes' relics, was the true identity of Pan, a tactician rumored to have been integral to Luke's victories? And those who Oh, that's interesting. Those who slither in the dark? The Shadowed Order of the Knights of Saros believes that King Claus, the first of Fargus, was assassinated. Everyone believes that his will, which demands territory be divided among 3 princes, and fails to name a successor, is a fake. Perhaps likely to involve the Leicester region in a display of military force from the Empire. The tragedy of Duscar, after which more members of the Western Church are strongly criticized the Central Church. Among them are those who claim the incident in Duscar was the work of the Shadowed Order of the Knights of Saros. There was confrontation over the dogma's legitimacy is inevitable. Soon, the child of House Gaspard. Interesting. Son of the Alliance's leader, Duke Oswald Regan, has died in an accident. It follows the incident involving the previous successor, and even the Knights of Saros suspect it was Count Gloucester's command, even though it seems it was too conspicuous. There's some concern that could spark a war. With Duke Regan gravely ill, the situation is... Yeah, fingering the Church of Saros in a lot of the things that have happened.
Hey you, listen up. I've got something to report.
Okay.
Remember that battle 5 years ago? Oh, I'm guessing you do. Anyway, remember that knight who watched over Abyss with me for a while?
I sure do.
He said he was going to check on things up top, but that he'd return. Thing is, I haven't seen him since. Lots of knights have returned, but not him. I hope he's safe.
Aww. Nice.
So you intend to march into ALL? Frankly, I want no part of it.
Okay. Too bad.
Surely such an uneventful journey won't require my presence. You will? Then I shall don my marching boots.
You have a winged steed.
Though I would ask that we at least consider marching only under cover of night.
You have
Need
nothing.
something.
Yep.
See you again soon.
Yep. Okay, you're somewhere over here. It's a Balthus.
So, Judith is on our side now. That right? Haven't seen that lady in years. These days, people call her a hero. Back then, I just called her a catch and a half.
God damn it, Balthus.
If only. No, I was a kid at the time. But she still managed to catch my eye. She was the second loveliest lady in all of Fodlan. Who's the first, you ask? That's my little secret.
Better not be happy. I still don't know if I'm going with Happy or Petra. I'm indecisive. Deal with it. Well, that's interesting. Why are you in here?
The Valley of Torment, huh? I see your angle, but don't let your guard down. Any movement about their borders, and the lords of the kingdom will react swiftly. Don't underestimate them. Keep your focus on a positive outcome. There's a lot to gain and a lot to lose.
No. Bandits from Garrick Mock used to come down to Abyss pretty frequently.
Okay, I'm glad we're actually talking about this.
We never dealt with them, though. We refused their offers at every turn. Sometimes we had to use force. I was happy who finally drove them out for good. Only then there were beasts all over the place.
So that's the incident she was talking about. I wondered.
Thanks for giving me a hand. The Valley of Torment. Isn't that the place where it's scorching hot year-round? You know, I've always wanted to see the world. That's why I left my village. And here I am, traveling to all these interesting new places to kill people. Not what I had in mind. Maybe I'll find some time to admire the scenery. Though people might get mad I'm not taking this silly war seriously. Oops, that was close. Almost sighed.
Okay, so that's the Abyss. If you're wondering why we started in the Abyss, the biggest reason is because this transition takes time. And so if I can cut down having to do it to just once per, like, in the actual recording, that's worth it to me. It's not a huge deal, but there seemed a little reason not to do it. They're slow at loading. Alright, so now we just have to check on everyone. We're already at 26 minutes, but I'm going to do it. There's definitely not another 30. That's kind of what I do, is I have an idea where I want to end the episode, and I will do it unless there's so much there that it will be a double episode.
Some in Fargus believe Dimitri is still alive. My father is one such eccentric.
I mean, probably is. We haven't seen him die yet.
They can't accept reality. Dimitri is dead. He's not coming back.
I feel like you're wrong. So Ferdinand is an A+, but I find that hard to believe. So he's an A at level 27. Oh, I can't have set it to it. Level 31 for this. I still feel like Leone is better at it, although probably not by much.
Make a difference?
Good job, Leone. Alright, can do 7. Oh, only 13. Which 13 isn't the problem. The problem is it's not a ×2, so she'll take 2 hits most likely. You can take it though.
For Gerald.
Okay, I'm back to a ×2. So, okay, so 15, take 10, another 15. So, yeah, she'll survive it. Interesting.
I'm not dying here.
It's a bit sad that she hasn't dodged any of them. I know it's a 70% chance they have a better than average chance of hitting her, but between all of them, one of them should miss. This is the semifinals. There we go. Back to another 7 on 13 fight. Come on, dodge at least one. You got almost a 1 in 3 chance. Come on, Leone.
Make a difference?
Alright, here's the finals. I shouldn't need this, but there's literally no reason not to use it. Still not dodging. You got one last chance to dodge. You have a 30% chance. 31% actually. Nope. She doesn't believe in dodging.
Make a difference?
Go us. Alright, Ferdinand Eloise.
Someday we will take the Imperial capital.
We will.
It is odd to think that I will be invading the very city that I once called home. Ah, that is still a ways off. I will prepare for our journey to ALL.
That was a boring conversation.
Even though we're getting reinforcements, we should still be prepared for the worst. Never shirk your training, no matter what. To practice, I'm going to chop something up with my sword.
Don't tell Felix.
Unless you'd like to train together. Care to spar?
Hello?
My big brother told me stories of Judith's bravery. With just one look, she tamed a runaway horse that nobody else had been able to touch.
Interesting.
When an Almiran general provoked her, she talked him into a tearful apology. She's spectacular. I wish she'd fight alongside us.
She is. I guess she's only giving us troops. She's not fighting. So never mind. Okay, no one else in here. Standard sweep.
Huh? My savior, thank you.
You're welcome. Of course, Raphael's in the dining hall. Why would he not
Sharing
be?
your food with us for nothing in return? Judith really is a great person.
God dang it, Raphael.
She's more like a goddess than the goddess is.
Ooh, be careful.
I never met her, so I don't know for sure. But she must be beautiful and kind.
You'll get to meet her. She'll show up eventually, I'm sure. Okay, yeah, there's people in the middle. I saw the thing come up right as I started to move in.
My family, the Galatias, are an offshoot of the Daphne family. The family split in half, and two brothers quarreled over an inheritance. Despite blood relations, the families lived apart from one another, so the relationship has been distant and somewhat estranged. I'm not so much acquainted with Judith, the head of House Daphne.
Professor, is it really okay to rely on Judith? I hear there are still quarrels within the Alliance.
I mean, she's a good person, probably.
This generous offer of soldiers and supplies seems a little too good to be true.
I don't blame you for thinking that, though.
It's also really impressive, but I'm just a little worried, I suppose.
That's fair. That's fair. That's fair. Like, I trust her, but I've met her in other timelines. Yeah, I sound like the main character from a certain series that I won't say its name out loud because I don't want to spoil it for anyone who hasn't played it. But if you've played it, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Since the past, I have learned much of the language of Fodlan. But speaking the Fodlan language still gives me difficulty. I can understand, read, and write with nearly perfection now. But understanding and speaking are fruits of a different color. I have gratitude for you, Professor. I hope that I will have fluency one day.
I mean, I'd say you're fluent. You can tell that you're not a native speaker. That's not the same as being not fluent.
AOL, the Valley of Torment? What kind of a name for a place is that? It sounds scary. Do I really have to go with you? Hey, here's an idea. Maybe let the recluse stay home and hold the fort.
And then Leone?
Professor, you're not a teacher anymore, and we're not your students, but everyone still calls you Professor.
Amazing.
Is there something you'd rather be called? Guess that's what we're used to, huh? Alright.
I've tried before to say, like, call me by my name, and she's like, that's weird.
I never do get used to the sight of blood. It always makes me feel as if I might faint. I suppose I've told you that, though, yes? I have no idea how you cope with it.
You do get used to it over time.
I hope this war ends soon. I dislike being lightheaded because other people are bleeding everywhere, though the thought of working hard for it does sound like quite a pain.
Alright. Standard.
Gotta clean out the storerooms, tend the flowers, do the washing, dust the library.
Make sure you dust the Forbidden Library, too.
No, this is my job. Lady Rhea herself gave it to me. Even if Lady Rhea's not here right now, I still gotta do my duty. Like you gotta have other stuff you ought to be doing, yeah?
I feel so sorry for him because he gets so, like, involved in Rhea. He doesn't know what to do when she's not around. He can't organize or execute his own life.
Hey, Professor. Thanks for your hard work again. Nothing to report today.
Are you applying to be guard?
Was I convincing? Was it like he was standing right in front of you? Some things are the same as they were 5 years ago, but I guess a lot more has changed.
Pardon me.
You're a much better you than she is.
Greetings, Professor. Nothing to report. Is everyone setting out on a big campaign? Not exactly. Ah, so you're meeting up with the reinforcements. Well, you can leave guarding this place to me. I'll keep an eye out for anything suspicious.
I like this guy so much.
Hello.
What do you want?
Really now? There's unrest. I hope things go back to normal soon. Hey, how about a favor?
Okay, we're unlocking the secret shop, which actually is good to have. So I shouldn't grouse too much, but I'm gonna.
I have lived inconspicuously these past 5 years, so as not to be discovered by the Empire.
I discovered you. Hey, there she is.
To be able to finally return to the monastery again is overwhelming.
I just don't know why the Empire would care.
I hope that our brothers and sisters who ran far away will also return one day.
Like, I get why the church leadership, but just because you were a nun, like, who cares? Were they actively hunting, or was it more of a precaution? That's, I need to know these things.
Hey, there are enemy spies around. Remain vigilant. Capture anyone who seems suspicious. I'm glad you understand. I'm counting on you.
I mean, honestly, I wish that there was an option on what you could respond there, because the only thing it said is, like, and kill them. Well, no, she said capture, dum-dum. Like, I'm not saying that. That's stupid.
AOL, the Valley of Torment. Oh man, I really do not want to go there. That place is crazy hot. For guys like me, who grew up somewhere cold, man, it's gonna be rough. Though, I guess that climate will keep our enemies at bay.
Can you help me?
Alright. I do have... It is odd that they have the quest in this game. I guess it's just to give you a reason to run around, but it's just like, it's so easily completed that it's almost like, why are they even here? Like, this isn't fun. It's a chore.
House Daphne is a renowned family, descended directly from the 10 elites. They've had close ties to the church for ages. I hear even Judith, who is known for her bravery and valor, is a devout follower of the Seros faith. She will lend us her strength. I'm sure of it.
ALL, the Valley of Torment, lies on the border of 3 noble
I have heard this,
territories.
yes.
The kingdom's Fraldarius and Galatea families, and the Alliance's Daphno family. In the Fraldarius lands to the north, the former Kingdom Army and new Duke's Army are fighting.
Alright, here's Catherine.
We've heard people talk about the hero of Daphne. If the stories of her courage are true, no one will be able to stand against us.
You put a lot of stock in
In
courage.
different circumstances, I'd have wanted to try crossing swords with her. Right now, we have to focus on getting to those reinforcements. Let's hope nothing goes wrong.
Alright, so handled all that. We'll go across the bridge because there's someone in the middle of the bridge. Ah, it's Blaine.
It has been only 5 years, yet so much has changed. Half of the kingdom has fallen to the Empire. Skirmishes are rife throughout the Alliance. Despite such tumult, we look upon the same sky, unchanged by the storm happening beneath it. Indeed, I gazed up at this same sky with Mother and Father.
Aww.
It does not feel so long ago at all. Wait, but how would you know, Professor?
Look, I was here 5 years ago too? What do you mean? That's set It is.
Well...
I don't know if I see you out of your room.
Meeting reinforcements in the Valley of Torment seems an astute decision to me. In that land of oppressive heat, it is unlikely that we will be disturbed.
Oh yeah, totally won't happen.
It also means we will need to contend with those harsh conditions ourselves, however. Best ensure we are well prepared.
Okay, that's all that's up there. Marianne making me go to a special place. At least she's near the, like, entrance.
Well, Valley of Torment. Valley of Torment.
Valley of Torment.
I once read...
I don't know why, the way that...
I can't seem to remember.
The way the voice actor delivered that line, it sounded like, there once was a man from Nantucket. I once read a book full of legends. Surrounding it, you know, it's just there was a sing-songiness to it. Hello, Ignat.
Believe it, the Valley of Torment. I'd heard of it, but I never expected to go there. It's exciting. I wonder what the landscape is like.
Mentuous.
It probably is dangerous, but I still want to get there and see it as soon as I can.
We may not
be students anymore, but it's still important to read.
I did a lot of reading this episode.
We might even learn something that's useful for our next battle. I couldn't agree more. I hope the Officers' Academy reopens when the war's over. It's a shame the monastery was ruined, but at least the books are still intact.
She has her priorities in the right place. I know I just looked at this. Okay, yeah, there's no one up north, but there are people in the... Oh, it's freaking Hanneman and... Why are you guys here? I didn't recruit you.
The monastery repairs have made solid progress. Most excellent news. When we first returned here, I was unsure what we were going to do with the ruins of this place. But if we can get the cathedral rebuilt, we'll have it looking just like old times soon enough.
I agree. I just run away from
Hearing that an old student has died cuts me right to the heart.
It's funny you say that right before we go to where Ash is.
As this war with the Empire continues, we'll see more of it, Professor.
We haven't seen any of it yet.
We have a duty to fight alongside our former students. We taught them how to fight, after all. Now, let's help them win.
Like, I know that's not quite true. Like, just because none of the named characters have died, obviously people are dying in these battles. Alright, and lastly...
I didn't think we'd end up fighting Randolph. He's my uncle. Well, not by blood, so... I guess I can handle it.
This one makes more sense, 'cause yeah.
Don't worry about me. I'm ready for anything.
Alright. And with that, I will end this episode. I will see you next time when we will be at the, Valley of Torment, actually. So there we go.
Thank you.